this lesson, the vocabulary is important to know, not only definitions, but what each one of these geometric figures looks like. So reviewing through pages 322 to 323 will help you as you go through this lesson, as well as any notes that we took in class. For number 1, we're being asked to name 2 points. Well, in the diagram off on the right, there are actually 5 points that can be named. You can pick any 2 of them. Remember that a point is named by using its printed capital letter. So we could use point K and we could use point M, just to pick 2, but any 2 would be fine. For number 2, they're asking us to name a line, where there are 2 different lines in the diagram, as well as more than one way to name a line. If we take line KN, we're naming 2 points along the line, and the symbol above the points has an arrow in each end showing that a line goes on forever. We could have also named that same line, line NK. The other line could have been named a number of things. It could have been named line LK, line KL, line KM, line MK, line LM, or line ML. When you're naming lines, the order of the points and any 2 points along the line are needed. So it doesn't matter what order you list them in and which 2 of the points along the line you name. Number 3 is asking for a point shared by 2 lines. Well, the only point that is on 2 different lines in this diagram is point K. For number 4, we have to name the plane. A plane is named by any 3 points in the plane, as long as they do not lie on the same line. So the only plane name that we cannot give to this plane would include the 3 points L, K, and M. I can use L and K as long as I use another point name. And a plane is named by any 3 points, again, inside the plane, as long as they are not on the same line. For number 5, we're being asked to give 2 different ways to name the line. So we can name this line, line AB, which would be the same name as line BA. Or we can also name this line, line BC, which would have the same name as line CB. Another name that you could have given it was line AC or line CA. For number 6, let's see, let me get rid of that. For number 6, we're going to have to give 4 different names for rays. Now, when you're naming a line, order doesn't matter in the way you name the points, but an array order is very important. The first point named is the end point, and the other point is any other point along the ray going in the opposite direction. For example, if I start at point A with a ray, I can name the ray ray AB or ray AC, since they both go in the same direction. I can also name a ray starting at point B and coming back through point A, and that is a different name, or different ray, than ray BC, which would start at point B and go off to the right, whereas ray BA started at point B and went down to the left. I can also name ray CB, which would be the same thing as ray CA. Number 7, they're asking us for another name for ray AC. Well, if you start at point A and go through point C, you'll also know that ray AC also starts at point A and goes through point B as well, so we can name this ray AB as well as ray AC. It's the same ray since it starts in the same place. For number 12, we're asked to give 2 different line segment names. A line segment starts at one point and ends at another. So I could name one line segment as ray WX. Now, line segment WX and line segment XW would be the same line segment. But line segment WY would be different, since it's a longer line segment. It starts at point W and ends at point Y. Lesson 4 is on classifying lines. We have on page 336, you see different types of lines listed. We have intersecting, which means they cross at any point. But we also have perpendicular lines that cross, but when they cross, they form 90-degree angles. Parallel lines are lines that are in the same plane, and they would never intersect. Skew lines are lines in different planes, but they're not parallel or perpendicular to each other. In number 1, the lines cross, but they don't form right angles, so we would just call those intersecting lines. In number 2, however, when the lines cross, you can see that a right angle is formed, so we would call those perpendicular lines. In number 4, you see that the two lines are an equal distance apart from each other, and if they continued on, they would never cross, so that would be parallel. Whereas in number 5, the lines are in two different planes. They would never cross each other, but they're also not parallel to each other, so that would be skew. If we look at these in the context of pictures, if you go back to number 3, Jamal's fishing line does cross with the surface of the water, and the way the line is going into the water would form a right angle. So that relationship would be considered perpendicular. In number 6, the bones of these two fossils are in different layers of the earth. So these two bones would be considered skew if they were in the form of lines, since they're in different layers or different planes, and they would never cross, nor are they parallel to each other.